And a new California law prohibits officers from using threats or lies to get a minor to confess to a crime. The law faced strong opposition, but now a high-profile conservative DA is urging law enforcement to stop lying to all suspects. Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Today, KPIX 5's Julie Watts is taking a closer look at the concerns over false confessions.
Yeah, with advances in genetic genealogy and DNA crime fighting, hundreds of wrongful convictions have now been overturned. And the data shows nearly a third had confessed to a crime they didn't commit. Now, many blame deceptive interrogation techniques, including a local DA who says he learned that lesson the hard way.
He keeps telling me all this stuff, and I don't know if it's true or not.
The year was 1998 in Southern California. Police believe then 14-year-old Michael Crow murdered his little sister Stephanie in the middle of the night.
Why are you doing this to me? I didn't do this to her. I couldn't.
At first he denied it, but after 2 days of intense interrogation, he confessed.
I'm not sure how I did it. All I know is I did it.
Except DNA evidence would later clear Michael and his friends who had also falsely confessed. And they're not alone. According to data compiled by the Innocence Project, there have been at least 375 DNA exonerations. Nearly a third involved false confessions, and a third of those false confessors were 18 or younger. A new California law now prohibits law enforcement from using threats, lies, or other psychologically manipulative interrogation on juvenile suspects. But according to the Innocence Project, the majority of false confessors were adults at the time of the arrest. Adults like Connie Dahl.
This is a golden opportunity that we're giving you right here by talking to you first. Right. You don't know what these other two are going to say.
You're right.
When I go.
It was Dahl's confession following the brutal 1985 stabbing death of El Dorado County newspaper columnist Jane Hilton that sent Dahl's then-boyfriend Ricky Davis to prison. But 15 years later,
in all confidence, he did not commit this crime.
El Dorado County DA Vern Pearson re-examined the evidence after listening to the decades-old interrogation and confession.
She was already dead when we got there.
During which investigators lied.
Because we know everything. We know.
Prompting Dahl to change her story, ultimately leading to Davis's conviction.
You don't remember any of that?
You know what? I think they did get into an argument.
Dahl later died of a drug overdose, and years later, genealogy DNA not only cleared Ricky Davis after 15 years behind bars, but identified the guilty party. Michael Green has since pleaded no contest to the murder.
Do you think there are a lot more Ricky Davises that are behind bars right now?
I don't know. I suspect that there are, and at the same time, the person who actually did it is out walking the street, maybe victimizing somebody else.
Pearson says that case forever changed the way he views interrogations.
10 years ago, if you would ask me, would someone confess to a murder they had nothing to do with? I would not have been able to believe it just based upon my experience and training.
He points to research that shows the primary cause of police-induced false confession is deceptive interrogation tactics that have been used by law enforcement for years. Techniques that presume guilt and focus on getting a confession rather than the full story.
Certain types of interrogation techniques have a higher risk of producing a false confession than others.
And these are pretty common techniques.
They're the most common techniques.
So the veteran DA is now implementing a new policy in his office and is urging other DAs to do the same. His office will now reject nearly any case where the primary evidence is a confession obtained using threats, lies, or psychologically manipulative interrogation tactics. A surprising stance for a tough-on-crime conservative DA and past president of the DA's Association. His policy is similar to the new California law that prohibits those techniques when interrogating minors, and it faced opposition from many in law enforcement.
Some argue that this puts restrictions on officers when they're doing interrogations. Have you gotten a lot of pushback?
Some, but I wouldn't say a lot. The pushback is against change.
He notes there are exceptions to the policy for things like imminent threats or undercover investigations, but he says DAs across the state are now considering similar policies and signing up to take his training course on alternate science-based interrogation techniques. Because following the Ricky Davis case and others like it, their mission is to ensure no one is ever again convicted based on a coerced false confession, while the guilty are allowed to walk free. Julie Watts, KPIX 5.